you'll find that your wildlife population is actually getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's the problem. Now, most of the animals that have come in here have been injured, orphaned, or are confiscated animals that have been brought to us, usually as young animals. And then we have tried to fix them up if they're damaged. And if they can be released back into the wild, then obviously that is first prize. But unfortunately, some of our animals that we have here cannot be repaired enough to go back into the wild. For instance, say an owl gets hit by a car and the wing is so badly damaged that we have to amputate it. Now that owl can actually lead a very fruitful life, and we can actually breed their progeny, and then the progeny we can release back into the wild. So obviously, as I say, if we can release the animal uninjured and well back into the wild, that's first prize. But if we can't, then those animals have to stay at Chipangali, and they live here basically for the rest of their lives. And now, in doing that, obviously, there's a fee. They have to be fed, they have to be looked after, they have to have veterinary care, and this all costs money. So this is where the volunteers are so important to us, along with bringing money for them to come and be here. A lot of the money goes back into looking after them, feeding them, electricity, water, whatever you might say. But a lot of that money also then helps us feed and look after the animals. They actually help us with the animals. They help us with educating children. We have a program called Epic Kids, which basically stands for Educational Program Involving Children. And there we take a chameleon, a snake, a tortoise, and a hedgehog normally to schools. And we go and try and educate the kids into the importance of our wildlife heritage here in Zimbabwe. The volunteers have breakfast from 7:30 till 8:15. Then they usually do what we call baby feeding time or animal feeding time, where they cut up fruit, they cut up meat, depending on if it's a carnivore or a herbivore, and they actually get to feed young animals and clean water bowls and sort out all of that. Then that usually takes up until about 9 o'clock, 9:15. Then we usually have projects. Now either that is environmentally enriching or decorating or cleaning out certain cages and making sure that things are made better for the animals. Because one thing that you do have to know is that when you come to Chipangali, it's not just about cuddling animals. We don't have lots of cuddle animals, but you basically work for the animals. You are making things better for the animals. You are giving of your time, your enthusiasm, and basically we really, really appreciate that, because we don't have time to spend with the animals as much as we'd like to. And sometimes our volunteers have actually gone that extra mile. Good things and bad things as far as volunteers are concerned. I would say that the slab.
Look at her go. What are you cutting up there?
A pony.
A pony. And where did the pony come from?
It died.
But please, all volunteers must understand that we will never force you to do something that you don't want to do. Obviously, you are here for a good experience. Obviously, we try and say, try something, and if you don't like it, don't worry, you don't have to do it. But if you try something, then you know for future reference that you can actually do things that you thought maybe you couldn't do. I think that when a volunteer comes here, it actually is very interesting for them, because they get to deal with so many different varieties of wild animals. Obviously, everyone wants to deal with babies because babies are cute, but it's not all just baby animals that we deal with. We also have to deal with sick and injured animals. Sometimes they're not so nice. They can bite, they can injure you, and you've got to just be careful and obviously the biggest thing that we worry about here, is the safety of the volunteers. We will not let them go into a situation where they could get hurt. I don't really know. You'd actually have to ask each volunteer.
So I knew that I wanted to come to Africa and do a bit of volunteering with the animals, and I just looked online, and the first site that I found offered this program, and they offered a program doing research as well. So the first time I came out, I thought that I would do one research-specific program, and then one where you actually directly worked with the animals.
My favorite part here is working with all the different animals, and of course meeting all the different people from all over the world.
Catching grasshoppers.
See that one?
Where?
There.
Where?
It jumps. Oh no, it jumped away. Yes.
You sure it's there?
It's here. A grasshopper!
What I've loved the most is just like the whole experience. I love the people, I love the animals, and I especially love this one. She's my little baby.
All the volunteers.
Well, 1 second, who's the English person here? Me. So you, I'm Katie.
Because I come here and get my nails done every day.
The contact with the animals, because as you can see, once you get to know them, they're really nice. Yeah.
Hi.
My favorite thing was just working with the animals. We were really close to the animals, actual hands-on experience with the animals.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
What are you doing at the moment?
Cutting up a horse
And why are you doing that?
to feed the lion.
I guess my favorite part here is actually doing the research. I love going out to the Matopus and, setting traps, looking at all the camera traps, all that kind of stuff, seeing what we have out there. But I also love working with these guys directly. It's nice to have a mixture of the both, where you can go out and work, see, what's going on with the wild animals, and then come in and actually, get to pet a lion or a monkey.
I think my least favorite part is the sweeping.
Least favorite is the slab when there's old meat.
And the mealworms.
So my least favorite part is that I have to leave.
Probably leaving is my least favorite part.
Yes, we adopt animals. Doesn't mean you can take them home and be all cute, cuddly, and everything else like that. It means that you would help with a little bit of money each month to help look after that animal. We have a PayPal account which we are trying to sort out at the moment, and our website is being upgraded. But it's not perfect at the moment, but once that is sorted out, it'll be very easy to use PayPal to actually help us if you want to.
People poured their concrete floors and built their churches and their